Boom. What's up?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. Life is pretty good, even though adulting sucks. We were just talking about that.
Right.
Adulting,
Yes.
like I will never wish to be older again, ever.
Nope. Nope.
We're almost
Nope.
30.
Tell my kids that too. I'm gonna tell my kids, even though my parents told me that too, but it's fine. I'm just gonna
Mm,
go with it.
dude, I know. We never even listened. Everybody said,
We did,
don't
and
wish
they
to be
probably
older.
won't
They probably
listen. Right.
was
They probably won't listen either, but it's fine.
right talking straight from experience. And we're like, nah,
Exactly.
I want to be older.
Right. Exactly. Now all the shit my parents was telling me not to do makes sense. So
Right? My girlfriend
it's
and I were watching 13 going on 30 last night, and it was exactly what we were talking about. It's just like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I
no.
wish I wish I could go back being 13.
Right. Yes. A
Mom cooking
bill? What is
dinner.
a bill?
No,
Right.
never heard of
I don't
one.
know what a bill is. Don't know.
Never heard of one. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people who you is and anything else you want to say.
Awesome. Well, I'm Natasha Garcia. I am a friend of Jordan's. We've been knowing each other, what, middle school? Since middle school?
Ooh, high school. I wasn't there
High
until
school. High
sophomore
school.
year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I
High
came
school. It's
I
all like
came
just
late.
blending together
Oh
at
yeah.
this point.
I feel that.
But yeah, I've known him since high school. Um, and just kind of kept up with each other on social media, of course, good old social media. But yeah, I'm in Dallas, residing in Dallas right now. Have been honestly since I graduated college, just kind of fell in love with it and decided never to go back.
Oh
So
yeah.
so yeah, just been chilling there. I don't really know. I suck at like, oh, what do
Oh
I
yeah, you're
tell you
good. I feel that.
about
Me too. Me too. I'd be like,
yourself?
so I'm Jordan, and
Right,
you got some questions? Hmm?
right, exactly. That's all I got.
Yeah, yeah. Where'd you go to school? UTSA, right?
I actually went to UNT.
You. That's right.
Yep, yep,
That's right.
went to good old UNT.
Okay, so you've been up there for a while now.
Yep, yep, went to UNT, graduated, got in the workforce for a little bit, and then decided wasn't what I was doing wasn't for me. Then went back to school, went to SMU, still stayed in Dallas.
Okay.
Graduated, then got back into the workforce, and here I am.
So what'd you do the first time when you graduated UNT? What'd you graduate with?
Yes, so I graduated with a bachelor in science
Okay.
of kinesiology.
Okay.
Um, and when I kind of figured that like PT or coaching or teaching was kind of the only routes I had, saw my dad go through PT for knee replacements, and I was like, yeah, it's not me. So let me go back to school. But luckily, I had a friend that I met through football who had another friend who was doing recruiting for PepsiCo, Frito-Lay specifically. So I was in their consumer relations department for about like, I think I did it for like a year and a half,
Okay.
um, working at the headquarters in Plano.
Okay.
And then that's kind of what piqued my interest into business. So then I went back to school, went to SMU, got my master's of science in sports management because I still wanted to do sports, but just wanted to learn the business side of it. And then after that, where did I go? I was at a creative marketing agency for 9 months in Dallas, and then got a job offer at JCPenney,
Hmm.
and ever since.
Oh hell
So
yeah.
yeah,
And this is all after SMU.
all after SMU. Yeah,
Okay. And what'd you graduate with at SMU with?
Master's of Science in Sports Management.
Okay. Oh yeah. So what do you do at
Mhm.
JCPenney's?
So it's been a little journey. When I first started, like it'll be 4 years in November. When I first started,
Okay.
I was doing PR events and partnerships. Um, and then kind of when we started to become just more PR and partnerships, I managed like our partnership with the Dallas Cowboys, Frisco Rough Riders, different things like that. And then it's been probably a year and some change
Mhm.
that I actually transitioned to the social media team, and now I do social media marketing,
Okay.
but very specific to influencer marketing. So I lead all of our influencer efforts at JCPenney.
Oh hell yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
And then break that down. You were working with the Cowboys and doing that kind of thing, like consumer relation or like relations with the
Mhm.
clients, I guess, essentially, or your like I don't know sponsors. Uh,
Yes.
break that down. What was that like?
Yeah, so honestly, it was a lot of fun. We had two like exclusive promotions with them every year,
Okay.
and we could kind of just create what that was, whether that was like, I think one year we did kind of when those tropical like button down shirts were a thing for like all the NFL teams.
Hmm.
We created the first one for the Dallas Cowboys, and we sold it exclusively at our store. So just doing different things like that. Because of course, us being headquarters in DFW, then being a Dallas team, it kind of just made sense.
Sure.
Um, so I kind of helped create and develop and execute those marketing campaigns for those things. Um, and then just kind of just had a day to day with them, anything that they needed from us. If we, were to attend an event or have something at an event or something like that. So yeah.
That's super cool. You ever get to meet any of the players or get to do anything with the players?
I did meet some players. I'm trying to remember who I've met.
So many.
But
Hmm.
what'd you
Subtle
say?
flex. I said, ooh, so many. Subtle flex.
No, it's just like we've done so many events and like they just come and go. So I've met Demarcus Lawrence,
Oh hell yeah.
Jalen Smith. We did a holiday event with
Massive
him.
human being.
Yeah, yeah.
Massive.
That's so super cool. That was another thing we did too. Now that I think about it, was every year during like the holiday season, we would partner with different athletes
Mhm.
um, in certain markets, and we
Okay.
would invite like 25 kids from like the Y or some nonprofit to have like a shopping spree on us, and then we'd invite an NFL athlete. It was, I think they were all NFL, and they would come shopping with the kids and like
Aw.
buying stuff. Like it was always a lot of fun. It was just a big
Yeah.
give back. So we worked with Jalen on that. Sean Lee, we did a lot of work with Sean Lee. Jason Witten, we did a lot of work with him. Trying to remember if there's anyone else. No, I think that's it. I think that's all
Who's your
I remember.
favorite?
Who is my favorite? I don't know. Jalen was probably the funniest. I would say
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Um, they were all super cool though.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I'm trying to think. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
okay.
honestly, it feels like it was centuries ago, but
They're for real
yeah.
though, especially after the last year and a half.
Oh my
Feels anything
gosh.
before is a blur.
Literally don't remember what we were doing pre-COVID. Can't even
No,
pull it out
it's
of my
no, it's pretty crazy.
brain.
It's
Mhm.
nuts. How's this last year been for you?
Um, it's been pretty crazy, but thankfully though, I have been able to adapt to the work from home life. And I'm actually really productive that way.
Okay.
Um, so of course, I have a dog and he is, needy. So being able to like spend time with him because he used to go to doggy daycare. I'm that mom.
Ha ha
So
ha. I respect it.
before COVID, he used to do all that, but now it's like I can kind of take care of business at home, and I don't get distracted a lot because I mean, of course, in an open space office, if people need something, they just come and pop by.
Yeah.
But also too, I mean, just having like my boss go on maternity leave and like different things happening at work, like people moving to different teams and shit like that. It's just me like doing a whole bunch of work. So I'm like, okay, great,
That's
cool. Let's
dope
just try.
though. That's dope though. You're stepping up. You're taking over.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm
Yeah.
trying to at
Hey,
least, but it's just
that's all you can do.
Right, right. But it's been crazy, but honestly, I'm very blessed. My, health wise, my family's been healthy throughout everything. My friends have been healthy throughout everything. So despite, not really being able to do stuff that like I may have wanted to, I feel like it was kind of like God's way of saying, all right, you need to slow down. You're you're going through life a little fast. Your bones are about 45. I need you to tone it down because you ain't even
I
30
feel that. I
yet.
feel that. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, God, damn.
Right, like
Like
all
what?
the pops and you
Uh,
work out, it ain't the same.
it's not. I'm like, I don't know what it's gonna feel like in 10, 15. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Exactly.
It's
Right,
bad.
but how's it been for you?
Oh man, I'm chilling. Reese, I think life has gotten better in the last year and a half, at least for me personally.
Amen to
Uh,
that.
we made way more money last year than we did before. It's been
Feel you.
way busier here in Austin because the market, people moving here like
Mhm.
crazy. So we've been way busier. So that was good. It allowed me to buy an investment property, in which I'm
Nice.
in the process of selling right now, actually. Um, thank you.
Awesome.
So got to flip that. That's been an experience. Kind of surreal. Kind of one
Yeah,
of those things where it's like, damn, you think about where you started and you think about where you are
right.
now, and you're like, those sacrifices pay off. Those not going
Mhm.
out, not going out as frequently or not doing as much or being more introverted and saving money and all that and kind of setting yourself up for the future. Hopefully, my 30s repay
Right,
are a blast due to it.
right.
So that's what we're working for. 20s have been they've been all right. So we're
Mhm.
working
We figuring
working
out
towards the
life.
30s. Well, definitely figuring out life.
Right,
There's
but
no
that's
manual.
dope.
There's no
No, none
manual at all.
at all. I literally posted something about that like the other day because I just saw something that was just like you have to like forgive yourself for past mistakes because like people act like, we've this is our second time around in life
Right.
and it's like no, this is our first time living.
Hmm.
So you got to show yourself some grace because ain't no handbook for this shit. Like we don't know
Nope.
what we're doing.
There's
Our
not.
parents, try our best, but now it's like as adults, it's like okay, well, when we think about bringing kids into the world, it's like, oof, well,
It's
how
kind
am
of
I gonna
scary.
how am I gonna raise another human being?
I I
So
feel that. I'm thinking
yeah,
like, if I do ever have kids, I'm thinking
right,
like 35,
mhm,
40, 38. Like
right,
I'm not ready. Like I'm just not. Like
right,
I can barely afford myself. And
exactly,
I make a decent living. And I'm like, you want me to afford
exactly,
somebody else?
right,
No,
like
dude.
what?
No. Mm-mm. No.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, that's kind of the crazy thing about our generation, I feel like, because I feel like when we see our parents, at least for me, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna have kids by the time I'm 24, 25. I'm gonna be married. Don't have any of those things. And I'm 28. So, I think for us, it's like really just we want so much more for ourselves. So it's like
Yeah,
we're willing to sacrifice some of those, chapters in our life and start them later
absolutely.
because we're really trying to set up the best we can for ourselves and then be able to give our kids a better situation. So you know
Absolutely.
we're rolling with the times.
Ah, hell yeah, that's well said. I
Mm,
mean, that's exactly what it is. We're all trying to figure this out and not rush so much into it. Like we're going a little bit slower, and also we can
yep,
kind of bank on by the time we're older that maybe technology be a little bit better. Maybe we can stay
right,
alive a little bit longer. Maybe be able to play
you
with the kids a
know
little bit longer. So hopefully that
yes,
comes to fruition. Otherwise, we're gonna be fucked, and we're all gonna be like 70 with 8-year-olds and be like.
right.
So and then yeah, it's not gonna be good. But
uh,
found Muay Thai. That's been probably the
yes,
biggest thing in the last year that I really, really,
yes.
really enjoy. Started this. This has been
Hmm.
fun. Um, so yeah,
How like
not much to
okay.
complain about. Go ahead.
So I've always wanted to like ask, like because it looks so hardcore, and I enjoy watching boxing, I
Okay.
do, but then I think it probably hit me for real whenever, was it? I think it was. Creed or Creed 2, one of them,
Mhm, mhm.
where like Michael B. Jordan was just open about his whole training process.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that is fucking insane. So like when I saw you getting into that, I was like, Jesus, I wonder like is is his body ever like mad at him? Or like, so what is like when you
Girl,
started, how was that like
dude, there's
recuperation,
so
everything? Like how was it?
there's Natasha, there's so many times I come home from sparring
Hmm.
and I just look at myself in the mirror and I just abdomen is all like red, uh,
Mm,
face kind of hurts, you got a little bit of a headache, uh,
yeah.
your feet feel like they're constantly broken, and I just look at myself in the mirror and I just start laughing. I'm like, this shit is so stupid. Like this is so dumb. Like why does anybody do this? But
Right, like,
it's so much fun. It's so
that's
much
awesome.
fun, and it's
That's awesome.
incredibly humbling.
Mm,
Uh, the person who hits me the hardest consistently, damn near rocked my ass last night, is a 17-year-old girl, Killer Kate.
what?
Killer Kate,
Wow.
bro. Killer Kate is always on my ass. I'm like, dude.
Mhm.
After we go after a round, I'm like, Kate, do we need to talk about at home? You good?
Right.
Like, is
You got
there something?
depression or
Like, is everything okay at the house? Like, golly, she just stayed trying to take my head off, and
damn.
it's a lot of fun though. And
Yeah,
so it's humbling though. It's humbling because
yeah,
we just there's no guys, there's no girls, it's just fighters in there. And so when we
right.
spar,
Mhm.
doesn't matter, like girl or guy, we're gonna get after it. And
Right.
it's a humbling experience, and it can be bad a little bit sometimes because like
Mhm.
because you're like because then it's like when you're out and like if a girl's doing something you're like because then you're used to like in the gym girls and like in
Yes.
the gym
Oh, yeah,
like the
yeah,
girls
yeah,
who are sparring and you're like
yeah.
look stop it.
Mhm.
um it's
Uh,
but it's humbling. It's humbling.
right.
It's a wonderful experience. I think everyone should try to do a little bit of something.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same concept of being like being comfortable around a firearm. It's not that you need
Oh,
to have one or you need to like carry one or you don't have to be that person. That's not the point, but being comfortable with it. Being
yeah.
comfortable around one, like it doesn't freak you out, like it doesn't, or you know how to use one if you absolutely had to, or
Mhm.
just if you see one, not losing it. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
Like I feel like everyone should kind of know how to defend themselves to a certain
Yeah.
extent. You don't got to be Floyd Mayweather. You don't got to be,
Right.
Kamara Usman or whoever. You don't got to be an Olympic wrestler, but you should know how to throw a proper punch. You should
Right.
be comfortable that if worst case scenario you had to absolutely defend yourself, you should be able to know how to do something.
Right. I
And I
agree.
think that goes for everybody. And I think it's super important, especially for females. Like it sucks that
Mhm.
y'all have to go through what y'all have to go through just being a woman. It's just being a woman. Just like there's no other reason other than that. And
Right.
it's it shouldn't be like that, but
Mhm.
you know,
I
it's
mean, sadly, like you said, it shouldn't, but we're in the day and age where some people just I honestly don't know what it is. I don't know what has triggered people wanting to just I don't know if it's just stupidity or just like dominance issues or what it is, but and I don't even know if it's just because of social media. Now we just have an actual like more open view of it actually happening.
yeah.
But it's true. It's sad to hear about, the stuff going on the news and people just taking advantage of women because, at the end of the day, not trying to like toot our own horn, but like, if it wasn't for
Y'all run the
women,
world.
literally, if it
Y'all
wasn't for women,
created
people
all the life.
yeah,
All the life.
exactly. So it's like, like what did what did we kind of do to deserve that? But I think
Yeah.
there's just so much going on in the world where it's just like whether it's like mental health issues or people just not caring and, like I said, simply being stupid, um, and just taking shit out on other people or doing stuff that I think sometimes they don't realize actually has consequences, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know, but definitely for me, that's something that I've always been cognizant of. And I've always, especially since I've been out in Dallas, I've always just kind of been aware of my surroundings. And I'm definitely the overprotective friend where, like, if we're going out, like, yeah, I'll have a couple drinks, but like, I'm not going to get hammered because if shit goes down, like, I like to be in control
Yeah,
and I
I
like
feel
to
that.
know, like, who I need to handle, what I need to do for any of my friends. Because I mean, honestly, there was, oh my gosh, I will never forget this story, but it was actually, was it my first? Yeah, I think it was one of my first tournaments where I traveled
Hmm.
to go play football. And there was this girl, we had went out one night, and there was this girl that was in the parking lot of our hotel. And she was just, I mean, drunk off her
Just
ass.
a random
Just
girl or
random
somebody you
girl.
knew? Okay.
No, random girl. She was very pretty, like just drunk, didn't know where she was going, kept saying, oh, like my boyfriend just dropped me off and left, whatever, whatever. And then there were these two other guys that had a car and were trying to get her to, like, come over with them. And luckily it was me and a couple, two other of my girlfriends. And we were like, no, how about you come with us? And like, we took her inside. She wasn't staying at our hotel, but we took her inside, like, called security, tried to figure out who to call for her, and she ended up being able to call, I think, like one of her parents. But like, literally, if we weren't there, she probably would have got raped. She probably would have, something bad would have happened to her. And it's just so sad to see like some people take advantage of people like that. So that's why I'm just always like ready. I'm not. I don't get too
I
lit
feel
unless
that.
I'm at their house and my bed is upstairs. Good. But if I'm out, you
Yeah.
can't trust certain people.
I'm very much the same way. Like I'm like, all right, four
Yeah.
drinks, I'm good. Like
Yes.
we're gonna
Mhm.
stop it here because I always be the person who like, look, I'll drive. You're good,
Yep.
I'll drive.
Yep.
And then like you said, I mean, it's just being aware of your surroundings. Like
Mhm.
no problem. Like if we go out and the girl wants to get some drinks or whatever, look, you have your
Mhm.
fun. I can
Yep.
chill. I can chill on three or four. I'm in a good mood. It's enough to get me. It's enough to get the blood flowing. It's enough to be all right, get loosey
Yeah.
goosey, you know. But I usually stop it right about there, just in case, man. Like
Right.
you
Yep.
just never know when that day is gonna be. It's gonna be your day that you're gonna get tested. Something's gonna
Yep.
happen. And
Mhm.
and I could never live with myself if I was with like a group of friends and something happened to one of the people there because I was too inebriated or too lit to either
Yes.
A, recognize what was happening, or B, just stop it in general. Like, and
Right.
that would be a complete waste. Like, it's like, what the hell am I beating my ass up for? Like, why do I pay someone to
Exactly.
punch me if I'm gonna be
Right.
too inebriated to do something like to use it?
Exactly. That's very true. That's very
And
true.
so,
Why do you have all this training and you didn't use it when you needed
yeah,
to use it?
yeah, and
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, no, I feel that. I'm on the same boat. I am, but I
Yeah.
also respect. Hey, and but also it shouldn't be that way though. Like
Yeah.
we should be able to get loosey goosey, and you shouldn't have to worry about nothing.
Right.
You know, it
Yeah.
sucks. It sucks that
It
y'all
does.
have to be almost programmed differently when y'all
Mm.
do certain things. Like
Right.
you can't go to the club, and then you got to be not like conscious of what you're wearing, but you're thinking like, if I wear this, X, Y, and
Yeah.
Z, and then it's like that's fucked
Mhm.
up. Y'all should be able to just wear what you want, do what you want. Like,
Right.
uh,
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, it is like sometimes it is tough being a woman, but at the same time too, I feel like it's also, a blessing because I feel like now, let me say this now, and shout out to, all of the women before us that have helped us get to where we are now. Um, but I feel like now I can say like it's great for us because we do have a lot more opportunity. We do um like work with a lot more people who are open-minded and actually
Sure.
are like, oh, you know what, women actually are smart. Like we don't have to be run by all men, you know.
Yeah, women
So
are dope.
even exactly, and so I mean, even at JCPenney, like we had our CEO was a woman, and literally, I want to say, I can't remember what last year's statistic was. I think like 80% of our like C level and like executive, like VPs, women.
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
in a lot of companies are not like that at all.
Yeah.
So it's just to be able to see how we just have so much more opportunity now compared to like back then. Um, it's just awesome. And I think no matter what, all women, we have just some type of nurturing effect to us that is just like, why would you want to hurt a woman? You know, why would you
Yeah.
want to do something like that? And don't get me wrong, we get a little crazy sometimes, okay? We
Hey,
can,
look. But
say some things that might trigger somebody, but
closed fist. The first one's free.
yeah.
The second one we fighting.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, yeah, certain instances, it's like we can push the buttons. We know how to push the buttons. But when it's just like an innocent kind of
Sure.
thing, it's like
Sure.
you said, it's crazy that it has even gotten to this point. But I mean, it's life, and like you said, we got to be prepared for whatever, and that's just in
Yeah.
all aspects,
Absolutely.
women,
Absolutely. That's
just
just for
people in
everything.
general. Yep.
Like you should be able to, I don't know. I'm big on I always sit facing the door.
Oh
Um
yeah.
and then I always sit facing the door. And then most small areas like a gas station, I can tell you what I can give you a brief description of most people for that short period of
Yep.
time. It'll go
Yep.
away, but like I can tell you kind of an idea of where people are, where people are standing, like what people look like. 'Cause
hmm
just like you ain't
You
gonna
never
catch me.
know.
That's not how I want to go. I don't want to go out like
Right.
that.
Yes.
I
Exactly.
wouldn't
Yep.
mind going out saving somebody else, but I'm not trying to get caught off guard myself and go out like
Right.
that. Nah, fuck that.
Right.
Nope, I
Exactly.
ain't
No.
shit.
And I watched. I love true crime, so I watched so
Oh
many like
no.
shows, so many, and I'm just like, oh, like when they're asking like a witness, oh, well, what did you see, or what's the oh, Criminal Minds, my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was partially because when I first got to college, we had basic cable, and Ion TV was like
Okay.
my shit, and all they played all day was Criminal Minds, so that's what got me hooked.
Oh yeah.
but um but that, like, just them asking, okay, well, like, close your eyes and think back, like, what did you see, and all this other stuff, like, that is just, I don't know why, but maybe I'm just a little paranoid, but I'm always just like, okay, like you said, I want to be able to remember certain details to where if something were to go down, I can remember, like, okay, certain specific things. Because, if you've ever like gotten into a car accident or whatever, like it happens so quickly that you literally forget because you're not
Yeah.
paying attention to
Yeah.
details. So I try my best to do that as well. And just, I don't know, keep an eye out on where I'm at, or like I'm really good. I have really good photographic memory. So like once I use GPS the first time to get somewhere, if that's
Boom.
a frequent destination of mine,
Good.
I know it at the back of my hand. And that's just something, I don't know. But
My girlfriend tries to do this,
yeah,
or my girlfriend does the same thing.
yeah.
She hate for whatever reason, it's an ego stroke. She will never use the
Mhm.
GPS. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, you want to flex on me
Oh,
like
okay,
that?
Sunflex. All right. so, so you not directly challenged. You're just
Right.
gonna make fun of me like
Okay,
that. All
cool.
right. No, but
Um,
women are dope, and
yeah.
we're seeing that in a lot of different aspects. For one, I'm a big UFC fan. The women
Oh
fights are
yeah. Oh
always
my.
always dope,
Yes.
always
Yes.
dope. They beat the hell out of each other. I'm here for it.
Mhm.
And they're bad. They're bad bitches.
Yep.
Like they are the real deal. People are always like, man, I'd beat her up. No, you wouldn't.
No,
No, you
you
wouldn't. You
wouldn't.
wouldn't. I'm sorry, you wouldn't. I spar women who are 115, 120 pounds every day who almost take my head off. Like you wouldn't. I'm sorry. You wouldn't.
No.
I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
100 Amanda Nunes would light your ass up.
Literally.
Light.
And I would never question, like, oh, girl, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Not picking a fight with you. Not
No.
doing it.
No, I would not recommend that at all. She's about to defend her title in like a month, I think, or the November 6th, one of the cards coming up. She's about to, and
Yeah,
I don't understand why people keep taking these fights. The pay has to be great because there ain't no
probably.
way I'm stepping in there with her. She is
No.
she's killed everybody for like 6 years now.
Yeah, and you can't. There's not enough film for you to watch.
No,
It's just gonna
it's
happen.
so
You
quick.
just
She's
yes,
ended all the fights.
exactly.
Only one fight has went the distance. Every other fight, nothing. What are you gonna learn? What are you gonna learn in 30 seconds?
Exactly.
There's nothing.
Exactly.
There's nothing,
Mm-mm.
man. But the common denominator, and it's a common point on the podcast. But the
Mhm.
common denominator to everything that's going on in today's society, whether it's whether it is racism or sexism or whatever it is, the common
Mhm.
denominator is just treat everybody like an individual.
Yes.
I don't understand. I don't
I
understand.
don't I don't get it
It's
either.
not that hard. It's not that hard.
Yes.
If you don't like
Yeah,
that
we're
person,
human.
if you don't
Yep.
like that person and they happen to be a woman, you just don't like that person. That's
Yes.
okay. But
Yes,
if you like that person, like, yeah, it's crazy. Like,
it
just treat
is.
everybody as an individual. Like,
Exactly.
it seems so easy and so simple.
Yeah, but some people just I guess they just don't give a fuck. I don't
I,
know. I don't know what it is,
I
but
don't know.
I could never fathom because I mean
No.
I I have a hard time like giving like a server like attitude because they got my
Oh,
meal wrong. Like
never.
I had a friend that her and I went to a Thai place and I got like some type of rice and they have, the spicy levels, but that was my first time. So I didn't know what was too spicy and I can
Uh
handle spice.
oh.
So I think I
Uh
said like a 3 and I was like, oh, that should be fine. I got the food and I
Lit
couldn't
your
even
ass
enjoy it
up.
'cause it was so spicy. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?"
Was
And I was
5
like,
the
"I just
highest?
yes." And I was just no, 5, yeah, 5 was
Yeah,
the highest.
5.
Yep. And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like this is so spicy." I was like, "But I don't want to send it back." Like they've already because they had like messed up one other order, and then she was like, no, you paid for it. Like
Yeah.
you need to tell her, hey, like, I'm sorry, it's not whatever, whatever. So I literally had the worst anxiety doing that because I don't like to cause like an inconvenience to
I
anyone.
feel that.
So like I just couldn't fathom like intentionally like being mean to someone, especially if it's like just someone of innocence. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how people just can have no conscience, I guess.
I don't know
And
how they
just
go to sleep.
right. Me
I
either.
I don't get it. Like,
Me
I
either.
say something to somebody, like a friend or something, where I'm like, I probably could have worded that a little bit better. That shit keeps me up.
Right.
Like, it'd be
Literally.
something so simple. It'd be something so
Yep.
simple. And they were
And then
probably
I'm
not even mad at me.
yeah, but I'm profusely apologizing, profusely. Like,
Yeah.
so it's crazy. And even to think too, what you call it, my boyfriend and his family, we were watching the Muhammad Ali like documentary. I think that's
Okay.
gonna go on TV right now. And is his name Don King, I think? Was one of the
Um. Oh, yeah,
promoters.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And yeah, he supposedly like was a promoter, but then like had beat the hell out of someone, literally beat somebody to death and got convicted of second degree murder, I think.
Mhm.
Um, only beat them to death because of a debt. So I guess they owed him money. Ended up spending 4 years in jail, then got out and continued to be a con artist. And I was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, how do you do that? Like gypping people out of money, with fighters saying, "Hey, you'll get this amount of money," or no, that's what it was. They were trying to save a hospital in like his hometown, and he did a fundraiser fight with Muhammad Ali and somebody else to keep the hospital in business. That made like tens of thousands of dollars. The hospital saw like this much of it and closed the next year. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like,
That's
how do you do that?
that's nuts. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
like how do you sleep like a baby at night? Because I'm pretty sure he slept like a baby.
All right. I mean, you have to be a complete sociopath.
Probably. Yep. Probably right.
He probably would have made a good politician.
That's why I don't get into politics. Can't do it. We'll never do
Dude,
it.
I've
Nope.
stepped into it. So I've stepped into it, and we had like probably like, I don't know, maybe like 5 episodes in a row where straight politics.
No.
It weighed on me so much.
Ugh.
Weighed on me
Yeah.
so much because these episodes don't come out until about 5 to 6 weeks after that we record them, and because we have so many stacked up because we only release once a
Yeah.
week, but we record twice a week,
Yeah.
and there's just some things it's just like, okay, either A, it's probably not true anymore, or B, that's
Yeah.
not even how I feel, or
Oh yeah.
anymore, or C, like I'm not married to any of my ideas, like
Yeah.
and so it weighs on me because I'm like, I don't want someone to listen to one episode and then not listen to any episode ever again because it's like, oh, I said one
Mhm.
thing in it. It's like,
Right.
you got to take the whole thing in its context. So it weighed on me and it made me like super anxious, like super
Yeah.
anxious. So I've been trying to avoid the political talk for a little bit. I've stopped listening
Mhm.
to my podcasts and everything, like not even just my own, just podcasts and like
Oh yeah.
anything political. I've been just listening to music lately because
Yeah.
it literally stresses me the hell out.
It is. It's so heavy. It's so heavy.
Social media
And
is terrible.
it is. And I feel like that's just one of the things where like politics is a damned if you do, damned if you don't,
Oh,
like
for sure. For sure. There's no
business,
right
like
answer.
all of
Someone's
that.
gonna be mad.
Someone is gonna be pissed
Yeah.
the hell off. Like
Yeah.
no matter what, like you can never make it's never a win-win situation. Someone is always losing.
The
So
definition of
that's why,
politics is exactly what you just said.
yep,
Someone's always
yep,
losing. The definition of politics is literally fuck somebody over to try to help somebody
yep,
else.
yep. And I can't do that. I try to
It's tough.
always find a solution, always find a win-win. Like that is me all day. Like I love to help everybody.
Yeah.
I just I don't know, like I said, I watch all the true crime shit and even like the political shows, not really like documentaries on politics,
Mhm.
but like Scandal, Blacklist, like those kind of
Okay.
things that
Yeah.
could very well like be based off or
House of
Designated
Cards.
Survivor. Yes. I haven't watched House of Cards yet.
I'm impressed you said that. Designated Survivor is slept on.
So oh my gosh, when I tell you I
Slept
even had
on.
my mom hooked. I
That's who
had my
we
mom
need.
hooked.
That's who we
Yes.
need.
Yep.
Literally who we need.
Yep.
So I had Jonathan Hildner on, if you remember him.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
he's running for Senate.
Oh
And
yeah, he is in politics. I remember that.
so that was one of the politically heavy podcasts. And there was some stuff I said in there that I don't necessarily agree with anymore, but there was also some
Yeah.
stuff he said that I wish I would have pushed on harder. And so that
Right.
episode kind of really stresses me out. I think that episode either comes out this Monday or next Monday. So it's coming. And I'm like,
Okay.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous because
Yeah.
I said some stuff in there about COVID where I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But then he
Yeah.
said some stuff where I was like, I should have pushed a little harder and tested that.
Right.
I should have tested that a little bit more. And needless, he was like, you should get into politics. You should run. And I'm like, I mean, I've been told that before. And so
Uh-huh.
when I think about running, I genuinely hope that I would be that I would hope that I could be Kiefer Sutherland from Designated Survivor. I hope
Yeah.
that I could be that person. Like that's who I genuinely think I am.
Hmm.
Like I would try so hard to make a decision that helped both. But even as the show
Right.
goes on, you see him start slipping, and it's just like,
Yes. And he's having to choose like the lesser of two evils. And it's
yeah,
just like I can't do that. So yes, that is really the show that made me like have a different look into politics.
yeah,
Because it's just like one of the episodes where he basically, I think it had to do with some stuff overseas, and he
mhm,
basically had to like choose, do you want like thousands of people to die or only 3? And it's just like, can we
mm.
not have anyone die? But that's not an option. So
Yeah,
I couldn't do it. So that's why like I'm very high level with the politics. I don't get into the weeds. And like, I know some stuff, but honestly, like I don't like have a passion for it. So I've
yeah,
never, when it comes to like having actual like political conversations, I don't really say anything, and I'm very straightforward. Like I don't really know a lot about politics, so I can't be um acting like I just know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I don't,
But
So
that's respectable though. Not enough people do that. People still have
yeah,
those conversations. They'll still try to have the
yep,
conversations and have no idea what they're talking about. And
no,
then
and then sound stupid, and then get emotional and
yeah,
start getting heated. Yeah, nope, not
it's,
me.
to me that's like, yeah, I feel like the only time you get that mad is when you really don't know what you're discussing.
Exactly, exactly. Because now you're, instead of like, oh, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Now you're just like, oh, I feel stupid.
You're just holding on to it.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, no, not
Yeah.
me. I'll
Yeah.
never. It's not a passion of mine. I just never really got into it. But the like shows about like presidents, I'm with that. I'm game
Yeah.
with that. You want to trivia quiz me on blacklist and stuff like that? I got you.
Gotcha.
Real life
Okay.
politics, not for me. No,
That's
not
fair.
real
And
life.
so you said you've never watched House of Cards?
I haven't, but I've heard that's one I need to watch.
So House of Cards is really good. I stopped watching after like season 3. It kind of fell off, in my opinion. But a lot of
Yeah.
people still really enjoyed the entire series. The first 2 seasons,
Mhm.
I think, are phenomenal.
Okay.
One thing about it is there was ex senators and ex like people from the House who said that the
Mhm.
show was scarily accurate. I don't even know if that's a word.
Oh,
Scarily? Is that a word? I
probably.
don't think
I
so.
don't know.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
so
Scary
good.
accurate.
Right.
And and so it's a good show. But when someone says that, you're watching the show and you're just like, you can believe it though. Like
Yeah.
when you really think about it logically, you're sitting there and you're like, that's exactly. I mean, that's politics 101. You got to screw somebody
Right.
else over in order to
Yep.
try to push your agenda.
Yep.
And I'm with you. I try to stay out. I try to stay out. I was dabbling in a little bit, but I think I'm pulling back out. It's just too
Yeah. It's
much.
like
It's too much. I just
it
want to be
is.
friends
It's a
with
lot.
everybody.
Right. Exactly. Like I don't
I
want to
have
have to
no,
lose our bridges.
I have friends that voted both sides, like both
Oh
ways.
yeah.
And and genuinely every time I have a conversation with each of those people, like everybody wants the same thing essentially.
Yes.
They see the path a little bit differently. Some people
Yep.
want more hard work and some people want more empathy. And it's
Yep.
like I think both of y'all are have valid points. We need to just come this way.
Exactly.
I think people do still have to earn stuff. Like you still have to work hard. And I think that we
Yep.
should help people in less fortunate situations. But we got to
Yep.
merge those two together. We can't just go complete freebies and we can't go, "Oh,
Exactly.
let's not help anybody cuz we don't think that they're going to try to help themselves." When
Right.
maybe they're just really at a disadvantage, right? And
Right.
so like let's just come let's come to the middle. It's too
Yes.
much. It's too much.
Yep. But like we said, like there's no win-win. So it's
No.
just somebody's getting the short end of the stick.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't have the heart for it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's ooh, this is a good one. So, Mr. Jordan, not me, the other Jordan.
Yeah.
The more important Jordan.
Yeah.
Tell tell me about it. We'll jump into that and then we'll transition to football.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Jordan, my boyfriend, Jordan Fuentes, we have known each other since middle school, literally like 6th grade middle school. When we were just like ugly ducklings. And we kind of, like dated in middle school, I
Okay.
guess, when you're passing notes, holding hands to class, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and don't even honestly remember why we broke up. I think we tried to like put our memories together to try and remember, but I honestly can't remember. Again, it was like 6th grade. But yeah, then just kind of time went on. Went to high school together. Time went on as well. I was like in a relationship in high school, and then kind of when it ended, he was in a relationship. So just timing just never worked. But we always, kind of kept up with each other on social media. And there was always kind of like, just like a what if, like,
Mhm.
what if we
Mhm.
were actually adults and we dated? What would that look like? So,
I love it.
so yeah, I guess I would say like that's something that was a blessing for like during COVID, because we actually started dating last year.
Okay.
And it actually kind of happened whenever the like high school reunion page popped up. So, you know, our 10-year high school reunion is this year. So, the Facebook page came about, and then group chats came about. And then, of course, I mean, you know, Jordan, he's just always been like a goofy person, just saying random shit. So he would always say these random ass things in this group chat, you know, like geared towards me, whatever the case may be. And then that's just kind of where like things started to like take off. And yeah, we've just, I mean, just been growing together. It's been awesome. He's a really amazing guy, very, very ambitious. I mean, just super, super cool. A great, amazing human being. So, and he's a great father as well. So, I mean, overall, I feel like we just had to go on our life paths and let life take us where it took us. Let us learn the lessons we learned, and then kind of when it was our right time to come together, you know, here we are, and it has been great. Um, he's retarded. Really, I'm gonna use that word. He's so dumb. He's so dumb in a funny way. Not in like actual dumb, but in a funny way. Like his
Sure.
humor
Sure.
is just. I mean, I don't know, but we get each other. We have a great friendship, which I think is really, really important to me. And I think that's why we were just able to hit it off so well. Because honestly, like I want to say the first like 7 to 8 months, he was in Greece when we first
Okay.
started
Okay.
dating. And so, of course, they were 8 hours ahead of us.
Mhm.
So, I mean, and of course, too, I mean, he has a phone, but like he's in Greece. So,
Sure.
you know,
That's only
he got
half
a
a
SIM
day.
card. Right. But I can't, you know, just call because then it's like roaming and
Yep.
then the bill's going to be through the roof. So
Yep.
we would always just be like chatting on Instagram and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's been great. He's great. He's my husband. So whenever that comes, that comes. But
Hell yeah. I love
it's
it.
really,
I love it. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. It was super
mhm,
exciting to see. That was
yeah.
super cute. The posts. It was
Oh
cute.
yeah.
Um, he's silly.
Yeah.
He's silly. I love it.
He
Uh,
really is. He's a mess. We're a
oh
mess,
yeah.
honestly.
Oh
Both of
yeah.
us together are a mess.
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
you're like,
My
no,
girlfriend and I are the same way. We've known each other for
yes,
8 years.
yes. You gotta have
Yeah,
fun.
you have to have fun. What's the point of being with somebody if you're not gonna have fun?
Exactly, because shit's hard. Marriage is hard. Relationships are hard. Like,
Hmm.
you know, you got to pick your hard.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
you know, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be hard for that moment. And then you just got to enjoy life and everything else.
Absolutely.
So like you said, like you, we're going to grow. We're going to enter all these chapters. So why not do it with someone that gets you, that you can have
Yep.
fun with? You can genuinely, authentically be yourself. Because that's
Yeah.
like
So
the
important.
biggest thing for me. Sometimes I'm too in my head, like, you know, I think it's probably corporate America that's done it for me, but like always in my head, like, oh, you know, perception, look this way. But like just being authentically yourself, I feel like is really what's gonna get you places in life.
I agree.
Um, you know, just unapologetically yourself, probably
I
better
agree.
put. But
I agree.
um, but yeah, and then just being surrounded with people who get you, so you don't always have to put on a show of like, oh, you know, I'm this way around this person and this way. No, my family knows I'm crazy. Um, not the best at time management. I'm late to everything. Like literally on my way to my brother's house, I made a bet with my dad and my brother because I told him I'm leaving at 6 a.m. They said, "Yeah, right." My brother bet me breakfast, and my dad bet me $20. Now I didn't get here on time. I didn't get here at 8:30, but I still left at 6.
Oh, so
Granted,
you won the bet.
I mean, I think there's like a little like gray area, like a little loophole because I did leave at 6,
Okay.
but
But you showed up
I was
late.
supposed to be here at 8:30. Yeah, but I got here at like 8:50. But it was
So
Jordan's fault. So
that's fair. Just blame him. When in doubt,
yeah,
just blame Jordan.
exactly. Just, you know, so
Oh, no, that's super cool. And I think you said something super important and something that we talk about on the podcast a lot is just being
mhm,
yourself and finding people who
mhm,
allow you to be yourself. That's so important.
mhm.
That's so important.
Yep, yep. Because we only got one life
And
to
just
live.
to be yourself. To just be
Yep.
yourself.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
just just be you. Like just be
Yeah,
you. Try not to worry about what other people think.
right.
Um,
Because life is just like we've kind of talked about a lot. Like life is just too short
yeah,
to just try and be somebody else, like, and at the same time too, I feel like we constantly like who I was in high school is not who I am now. Who I was in college is not who I am now. And I
absolutely.
know I'm pretty sure like down the road too, once we start hitting those chapters of, like um marriage, kids, or even like being aunts and uncles, like me being a new aunt, like it's completely different. Like I'm
Mhm.
so like much more self-aware of myself than I have been in the past because I'm a perfectionist, so I always want to just be like just perfect at everything. But I have said to be like, look, it's okay. You're gonna fuck up. You're not gonna be perfect at everything, but you're not supposed to be, because no matter what, like no matter what we may lack, there's something that we are so abundant in that is so beneficial to other people in our lives.
Oh yeah.
Like we're in certain people's lives for a reason, and so that's why, I had to get over it and be like, look, fuck it. You don't like me, I hate it, but it is what it is. Maybe you're not meant to be in my life like that, but I'm not gonna sit here and stress out because, oh my gosh, like so and so doesn't like me. Like, what do I have to do? No. Okay, cool. Like, it is what it is. So,
Abs- It is. It is what it
yeah.
is. And like
Hmm.
and yeah, no, that's spot on.
Yeah.
Spot
But
on.
how do
I
you and
agree.
your girlfriend meet?
So we used to work together when I was in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to. So when I was in college, I went to Sam Houston State. She lived in Willis or in Conroe, Willis Conroe area,
Okay.
North Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in Huntsville, and I worked at Cracker Barrel. I was a server. She was a host. So she was in high school when I was in college. So she's 4 years younger
Okay.
than me.
Okay.
And we she was like, "Oh, I always thought you were so cute," and she was always super cute too. But which is kind of weird to
Mhm.
say, I guess, because technically, I guess it
Yeah.
wasn't. I guess you weren't. I wasn't allowed to say that. I guess. So I guess because 4 years younger than me, so she was. Yeah. So,
Right.
anyways, but she was like, "Oh, I always thought you were so cute." Da 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 da. Da. And we randomly ran into each other at a EDM concert and here in Austin
Mm-hmm.
actually. So she went to high school and then she came here to go to college. And I moved here once I graduated college. And I was at
Mm-hmm.
an EDM concert somewhere downtown and randomly ran into her. And I
Uh-huh.
was and so we kind of chatted, caught up, whatever. And then probably maybe 4 years later, so 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we dated for a little bit. The timing just wasn't there. Like you kind of like what you were saying, just there's just
Yeah.
timing. Like
Yeah.
is important.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't end up going anywhere any further than that. So timing, and then recently just kind of just re she just re reconnected, and here we are. So
Oh, I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no,
I love
it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
you said, you gotta pick your hard, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's easy. You're gonna butt heads. You're gonna
Yep.
argue. You're gonna have your things that annoy each other. You're gonna have your little quirks, like. But as long as you can have fun with that person, and as long as it's worth it to butt heads with that person, then
Right.
that's what it's about. Like that's okay. Like
Exactly.
it's not gonna be perfect. Like y'all not gonna
Yep.
always just be merry and joyful and lovey-dovey every second of the day. Like that's not realistic. Like you gotta butt
Yep.
heads. You gotta butt heads. You gotta try to figure out each other's boundaries, figure out each other's space.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
and it can be tough,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you kind of see each other a lot. Like
Yeah.
when you see each other multiple, like I don't know, 5, 6 times a
Mm-hmm.
week. You're-
Mm-hmm.
you can start to each other know you each know what kind of pushes each other's buttons at that point.
Yes.
And so you kind of do, and
You
then
like thick, yeah, to keep it spicy.
yeah,
That's what I would
yeah,
say.
a little spicy. And
Yeah.
so so you're gonna butt heads. You're gonna have your disagreements, and that's what it's about though. It's about
Yep.
disagreeing and coming to a compromise that's going to help both of y'all grow. And like you said, just finding that person who allows you to be yourself, but also that person who still wants you to be better, helps you be better. But there was something else that I was just about to say that you said that I was going to agree with. But anyways, it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. We went to the soccer game last weekend. We're going to another soccer game this weekend.
Oh, the one in Austin, like the new Austin
There's
FC.
it's so much fun. The team's not very good, but
Yeah.
the
The
games,
experience is
yes,
fun.
the
Yeah.
stadium is beautiful. There's a
Yeah.
there's a supporter section where the tickets are only like $35,
Oh, it's not bad.
and there's standing seats. And then they have like a hype team at the bottom that have megaphones, and they hand out chants to you. And so they have like these pre-listed chants, and most of them are kind of based around Matthew McConaughey. So instead of like ole 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 ole, it's all right, all right, all right, all right. And so there's a few of them that
That's
are like
funny.
nods to Matthew McConaughey, and then there's some other songs that are in Spanish,
Yeah.
and it's a ton of fun. So much fun. And then when they score, everyone throws their beer, and so it's a little excessive.
Wow.
So it starts off. So at the beginning of the game, when everyone's pretty much sober or soberer, most people are only throwing like that much left of their beer. Then towards the end of the game, when everyone's a little bit more drunk and a little bit more fuck it, they're throwing like that much of their beer. And so boom. So the last couple goals of the game, we got pretty soaked, covered in beer.
Damn. In beer. That's great.
Yeah, in the moment you're having a ton of fun, and then afterwards you're like, I need a fucking shower. This is gross.
Yes.
Why am I so sticky right now?
Honestly, there was a time where what were we doing? Jordan and I, we were in Austin. We've been up to Austin a lot, but we were in Austin for something. I can't remember what it was, but we ended up going to eat at like Maggiano's, and I guess it's like close to where the stadium is, and we saw so many Austin FC shirts. I was just like, and I mean, the team hasn't even been there a year, and there's just
first year,
so it's just like the support that literally is there in Austin for something that's so brand new, and people are just like wearing shirts everywhere. I mean, don't get me wrong, the colors are really fucking dope. But
they nailed it.
Like
nailed it.
Literally. So people want to wear it just because it's swaggy. But like seeing so many, I was like, holy shit, like that's pretty crazy. So yeah, I definitely want to go to one of those. I haven't been to any. I know we have FC Dallas, but I don't think I've been to any games.
Soccer is different.
I really don't know why.
It is. The energy is nuts.
And see, that's why I want to go. Like, I personally, like, I love, of course, to watch the game because, you know, I played for so long, but like some people think it's so slow, but more so, I know I would enjoy what I'm watching. I just want to know what the fans are like.
Oh, it's nuts.
Been to a football game, been to a baseball game, been to a hockey game. Like, I just want to know, okay, what is this experience like? And so, yeah, that's on my list.
You got to go. It's a ton of fun. Whether it's in Dallas or here, it's a ton of fun. And like I said, if you get tickets to if you just do the standing seats, super inexpensive, super easy. And then it's just first come, first serve. You just stand wherever. But you're like right there though. You're not far from the field at all. The standing seats are actually phenomenal. Better than the high up seats because you're on the first level.
Okay.
You're just at the end, so you're behind the net.
Gotcha. Okay.
So for one half, they're going to the opposite side of the field, but it's also kind of cool because the other team is coming towards you. So every shot they have on goal is also kind of fun to watch because you're like, oh, shave that bitch. So it is fun. And the seats are good. But yeah, so
me. I'll have to go. I'll have to add that to my list.
Do it. Football.
Yes. Yeah. Football.
This is exciting. This was super cool to see because you obviously really enjoy it.
I do. It's been it's been fun, of course, because, like, I'm an athlete, so I like to play sports, but also like the what's the word I want to use? Just the camaraderie of it all is really fucking dope. Really, really dope. So, kind of how I started was I played intramural flag football in college,
Okay.
and it was a lot of fun. Played a little bit of co-ed, but mostly played just straight women's. And then a couple of friends that I actually met that were like on the opposite team that we always played every year for the championship. I ended up getting like hit up by them to actually go to regionals. And it was in Lubbock. It was in Texas Tech.
Okay.
I can't remember what year this was, but we went down there to play. I mean, and it was the drive down there alone. I mean, it was like 5 hours, but like 5 hours with like ice because it was like snowing so bad. And so snowing so bad to the point where like we had bought a shitload of hand warmers, had them in our gloves. It was sleeting while we were playing one game. Like it was crazy. But that was when I first kind of got my when I first got a taste of what skill level there is in flag football. So
Sure.
we had played a team from Mexico, and they were doing shit I'd never seen before. And like, I mean, now that I've played flag football a lot, like it's very common, but they pitched the ball so many fucking times. But the thing is like how they beat us, it wasn't with deep threats. It was literally short shit, and literally they threw it to one person, everybody else would scramble right immediately afterwards and just be ready for the pitch. When somebody tried to pull a flag, pitch to somebody else.
Okay.
And they just went down the field that way. And
Okay.
we, of course, in intramurals, we didn't know that shit. We were just throwing the ball forward. We never thought to pitch back. So it was then where I was like, okay. So I've never forgotten that. Then I
That's
graduated.
awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So I was like, holy shit, like they do this. Like,
Yeah. Oh, so they for real.
yes, for real, for real. So yeah, so it was in 2016. I think it was a year after I graduated. Still kept up with those two same girls, and they ended up somehow playing in a league that's out in like Carrollton. It's like really close to where I live, and it was a co-ed league, and it was just for fun. And long story short, because like I said, the camaraderie is so cool. I met a lot of people there and became friends with them. And this one guy was like, "Hey, would you want to play in Round Rock?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like my parents live in Killeen. Like that's fine." So that was when I got introduced to a friend of mine, DJ, who I actually started playing co-ed with for a while. And that was my first look into like, oh, so this is a thing. Like this isn't just elite. Like people pay to like go places
Yeah.
and play.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool. And again, like even simply on that team, like that was the first time I met DJ, but we've been friends ever since. And a lot of my other friends too, I've met through flag football. So I've been to a lot of places because of flag football, more than just me wanting to travel. Most of my travel has been because of work and flag football.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That's dope though.
but yeah, it is, and it's so huge. I didn't realize how big of a thing it is until I started like traveling, and like there's so many leagues in Dallas, and like there's so many competitive teams and like freakish athletes that play flag football.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it's
Oh
so
yeah. I believe
huge,
it. I believe it. Where's
so
where's some
big.
of the places you got to go?
Yeah, so every year it used to be Martin Luther King weekend every year, but now they've kind of switched it. But in Florida, there's always a big tournament.
Okay.
That Flag Football World Championship Tour is the name of the organization, and they are the ones who put on a lot of these tournaments that everyone travels to. So every MLK weekend, there's a big ass, I mean, humongous tournament in Florida. Um, Last year, where was it last year? Tampa? No,
Okay.
next year's Tampa. Anyways, Tampa, Orlando, that's where it was.
Okay.
Orlando, um, Kissimmee. So like I've been, I think 3 times. Yeah. And it's, I mean, huge. When I say there's like 200 plus teams there and like so many divisions. I mean, they have
Hell yeah.
youth,
Hell
then
yeah.
they have like, I mean, and I didn't know this was a thing, but they have like 9-man, 8-man, 7-man, 5-man, 4-man.
Okay.
And then on top of that, in each format, it's like women's, co-ed, men's. And then underneath that, it's like pro division, comp division, rec division. Like it's insane.
Can you play on
But it's,
multiple, like, can you play on multiple of those? Like the 9, the 5, the 4?
oh
Can you
yeah,
play on multiple?
yeah.
Okay.
Your body's gonna hate you, but
Oh
you can do
yeah,
it.
for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. And a lot of people do that though. A lot of people do that because it is, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And I mean, the competition is just great. So I typically play 5 women's, 5 co-ed, 7 women's, 8 co-ed. Yeah. So
Okay.
those are typically my 4 formats that I'll play at tournaments.
How does how's like the scheme change depending on how many people you have?
Yeah, so sorry,
You're good.
my
You're
brother's
good.
dogs are like
It's okay. My dog over here
um
is tripping too. You're good.
yes, and then now my dog is gonna start whining because he's at the door. But anyway, so basically like the rules change up a little bit, but it's more so like time. So like 5-man is very short. It's like 15-minute halves, if
Okay.
that, maybe 12.
Okay.
And it's really quick. Only 5 people on the field, of course, and so that is just there's a little bit more strategy, and there's only 3 downs.
Is there a
You have to
reason?
make
Is there a reason for that?
like the
Like
time.
the time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, for a quicker paced game,
Okay.
honestly, because the field is a lot shorter. I will say that too, but there's just so much running around that I feel like if it was an hour long, like you'd be
Okay.
dead
I see.
ass.
I see. I see. I see. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah, and like the field is really small. Like you can probably on one football field, like a regular sized football field, you can probably like if it's like this, you can
Mhm.
probably fit 4 5-man fields in one
Okay. So it's like broken up
yard.
into quarters almost.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know the exact yardage, but yeah,
Sure.
so they're really small. But like long story short, you have 3 downs to make it to the halfway point of the
Okay.
field. To get that first down. If you don't get that first down, automatic turnover on downs, and then the other team goes, and they
Where's the
start on
other?
the opposite field.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. So like you start here, you have 3 downs to get to midway point. You don't get to midway point. The other team starts on this side of the field, has to get to this midway point.
Gotcha. And then 3
It's a
more
lot of
downs
fun
to
though.
score.
You only have so once you just have 3 downs, you have 3 downs to score.
So 3 downs past half. Yeah, 3 downs past half, and then once you pass half, you have 3 more downs to
3
score.
downs.
Okay.
Yep. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very quick, very strategic. Like I will say that there are a lot of teams in Florida that like I would say Florida and Texas are the 2 biggest states for flag football.
Okay.
And they battle every time. Like it's typically always a Florida and a Texas state in the championship in
Okay.
almost every format. So they're really big, but Florida, like they have some of the best plays I've ever seen in my life. And I honestly, when I started playing, I look at like regular like NFL football and college football completely different. Like I've always, just been like, oh, it's football, whatever. But like when it's only 5 people, and there's other things like whoever's rushing has to be 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. So you can't rush off the line.
Okay.
But there's just so many different like schemes on like if you send like a 5-yard out and a corner, like trying to make that corner choose one or the other, like it's really cool. It's just really, really cool. And it's been fun. And I've met like a lot of great people who have become like really great friends through flag football. But wow, I kind of only talked about Florida. But other places I've been, like California, Denver, where else did I go to play? Charlotte, Nashville, New Orleans.
Charlotte's a dope city. Charlotte is a bigger
Yeah.
version of Austin.
Yep, it is really dope. I didn't get to do too much like enjoying the town or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was really fun. So I mean, it's been great to just go out and play because I mean, like I said, the competition is fun, and then literally like people they just go out there and like you're with your people. A lot of teams have been playing together for years,
Okay.
you know, like literally years and years on end. Um, like my quarterback for Outlaws, actually, she's been in the game for almost like 15 years, I think. That has been a thing. So I'm like,
Sheesh.
yeah, Lennox, stop.
That's
So,
awesome. So she's been playing for 15 years.
yep,
Hell yeah, that's dope.
yep. So before I even knew it was a thing, like they have been doing this. So it's really cool. Like, I mean, honestly, mostly like the camaraderie is like the biggest thing. It's become to the point where a lot of people on Facebook, like my Facebook friends, a lot of them are flag football people. Like it used to be
Oh
like,
hell
oh, people in high school. Now like flag football has like exceeded that. So
yeah. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's cool though.
So
You
it's
found
been
you
fun.
found your people though.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you said, you know, like Muay Thai for you. It's just like something that you love to do, that you enjoy to do on the side. Like it's the stress reliever for you, you know?
Absolutely.
Like you
Absolutely.
don't have to be stressed about work or anything like that. It's just something you can truly enjoy doing. And then just making friends along the way. And it's so fun. I've loved it. So
So can you make money directly from flag football?
oh yeah. There's so many different leagues, but one of the bigger leagues is called the American Flag Football League,
Okay.
and they literally just had a tournament. I think it was the last weekend in August, yeah, where the winning team got 200K. Yeah, I think this
Oh
is
yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
second or third year for the AFFL. This was the first year for women's, but the first like inaugural season of AFFL, the winners won $1 million.
Wow.
Literally $1 million. That first one was kind of cool, though, because they did kind of like two brackets. One of them being like amateurs, and the other ones being like actual like pros, like Jason Avant. Who was the other person? Nate Robinson, I think.
Okay. So some
Like
names.
some names played like ex NFL players, basically, is
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
trying to say. Played in the other bracket, and then the winner of the amateur bracket and the winner of the pro bracket played. And I mean, if anything showed you that flag football is completely different than American football, like tackle football, was that game, because literally the amateurs blew them out of the water, like 30,
Yeah. Okay.
40-6, something
Why
like that.
why is that?
So I think, of course, whenever you're playing tackle, and I only know a little bit because, you know, I played tackle just for a little bit, but you really are relying on like wrapping someone up and bringing them to the ground.
Okay.
You can't do that with flag football. There's no contact in flag
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
So if you become flat-footed because you're getting ready to tackle someone, you can't do that in flag. If you become flat-footed, they can do one quick jab step and you completely miss their flag.
Okay.
Or, you know, because there's two flags on your hips, they do one hip move, you completely miss the flag and they can
Okay.
keep running. You know, like you can't trip them up, you can't do anything, you can't touch them, like you can't, no contact. So that's what makes it a little bit more difficult. And like my QB for Outlaws, she I think did an interview for like AFL. Her team ended up winning the 200K. She basically said like the difference between like tackle and flag football is like the finesse. So I think she said like flag football is like ballet, and tackle football is like crumping. She used that, and I remember that exact one because she said crumping out of everything. But she basically said like some people can do both, but oftentimes a lot of people can't.
Okay.
You know, it just takes a certain finesse for both. Um, and with the small amount of time that I've been playing tackle, there's definitely a difference because I've had to get out of bad habits playing tackle that I would typically do in flag, because
Invite.
I like to think of myself as like a really great flag puller. But how I do that is I square up with the person so I can grab their hips. But of course, when I'm trying to square up with someone in tackle, I'm getting yelled at by our DC, like, why are you waiting for them to come to you? Go and
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like we're in flag. I'm just waiting for them to come to me so I can pull the flag. So I was just like, things like that. It's just a little bit different.
Okay.
I mean, of course, everything else is the same as far as like the logistics and all that, but just some certain techniques, let me say, that are a little bit different.
And so tell us about your team. So y'all, I guess what level do y'all play?
Yes. So the teams that I've played on, we all play on the pro division.
Okay.
So like top most competitive division. Let me say it that way.
Okay. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. And so who comes up with the plays? Does the quarterback do this, or do y'all have a coach that does the plays? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So for a lot of our co-ed teams, it's mostly the quarterback or like whoever's like the leader of the team. There's not really coaches.
Okay.
To be honest, in flag football, I think the first time I ever had a coach, um, I would say it was definitely like my women's teams more than anything that have had a coach. But it's typically been a guy that plays in the men's divisions and has been playing for a while, so they can kind of help us with the playbooks.
Okay.
Excuse me.
You're good.
That's mostly what they help us with. And then the Texas Outlaws, we did have a coach for that. We had a couple coaches actually that were really helpful. But most teams, when it's not like something super organized like that, sometimes they have coaches, other times they don't. I think it just depends on the tenure of the team. Because I mean, like I said, there are some people, like my co-ed quarterback, he's been playing for like a decade. And he has some phenomenal plays, and he literally just tells us what route to run.
Okay.
And
And is
that's
there like
about
a
it.
play calling system that y'all have? Do y'all like huddle up?
Sometimes we huddle up. I think it just depends on the quarterback. So like with my Texas Outlaw quarterback, she is a PE teacher
Okay.
by day, I guess.
Okay.
So she is really good at like giving like I can't remember the actual term for it. I don't know why, but my brain is fried. But she gives like different nicknames to people, because of course, a lot of the people she plays with, she's really close to. So she'll come up, like for me, for instance, she'll say like UNT because I went to UNT, or she'll say Lennox because of my dog. So things that I'm associated with. She'll sometimes be in the backfield and say like Lennox run a 10-yard stop, and that's kind of her system. She can just do that. My co-ed quarterback, we'll huddle up and he'll tell us what to run. Or we have certain play calls, like one is called pencil, and it's like a triple stack on the outside. One's doing a back and around. The other one is doing a slant. The other one goes to the front cone. So it just kind of depends on the quarterback more
Okay.
than anything. But yeah, you just kind of adjust. Sometimes people just call it out because at the end of the day, defense still has to guard it. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's super cool. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
You found something that you love. You enjoy it.
Yeah.
You get to do it on your side. Doesn't it takes up time, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's a good it's a good time taker upper.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. You don't like when you're doing it, you don't see it as time consuming. You don't
yeah.
see it as like, oh my gosh, like I
It's
have
not
to
like
go
watching
play
a movie
this
or
weekend.
watching a show
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Or like work, like, oh my gosh, I have to go to this meeting. Like, no, it's like,
yeah.
oh,
I
I
get
have
to
a
go
tournament this weekend,
I get to
you
go
know?
play.
Right, right. And same for you, like, oh, I have a fight this weekend. Like you just get hyped up about it. You're, like, so it's a lot of fun to just have something on site. And I think, kind of full circle on how we were talking about earlier about being adults. I think when we're younger, we take advantage of the fact that we're playing all these sports in high school or college or wherever the case may be, and we see it as like something we do. but it's not until we become adults where it's like, okay, well, like this is actually a hobby. Like this is what a hobby is.
Okay.
This is what it is, to actually do something for fun,
Yeah.
not because my mom said I got to go run track,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yep.
So it's just, you appreciate it more. I guess that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get at.
Absolutely. That, and it's like you said, it's not I have to go do this. I get to go do
Right.
this.
Right. Exactly that. Exactly.
And that's a wonderful thing. Like there's just some people who don't have hobbies. Like they don't have anything
Right.
else that they do, and it's
Right.
it's kind of sad. Like even
Hmm.
no matter what, people always say like, no, I'm okay with this. Like I'm okay with not doing anything. And it's like
Hmm.
maybe you
But
are,
are
but
you?
but
Yeah.
but you got to feel like you're missing something.
Right.
Even if it's as little as just playing video games. I fucking enjoy playing video games.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that's still a hobby. If you're playing with your
Right.
friends, like I have a friend who lives in Maryland. I've never met the dude. I've been playing with him for almost 5 years now. Never met him.
Damn.
We just play
Wow.
video games all the time. Like we just
Right.
and we text each other like we know each other.
Right.
Like we've met.
That's
And
dope.
it is dope. It's fucking
Hmm.
fun.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta have find something that you enjoy. Do something.
Yes.
Do something
Yes.
that you do for yourself.
Right.
It's important.
Exactly. It is like paint. Go paint. Go do like, painting with a twist every now and then, or, whether you just randomly like to draw. You don't gotta be good at it, but if it's just something that just eases your mind that you enjoy doing, go do that. Pottery. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of what else I like to do. 'Cause I really don't like to. I'm a homebody for real.
Oh, I feel
But
that.
um I'm trying to think of what else I like to do though. I don't know. Like I'm not like a big makeup person, but like I have fun just like putting makeup on, or like even looking at house decor stuff. Like I'm not an
Yeah.
interior design person by
I,
any means.
I don't know. That shelf behind you is looking pretty good.
Because it's from afar. If you go up close, yeah, and it's neutral colors, but just looking at just different things like that, or even like social media can be a hobby, just like scrolling, or like even making content can be a hobby. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it's just one of those things where it doesn't have to feel like a responsibility,
Oh, for sure.
because we
For
have
sure.
a shit ton of those.
And like you said, something that eases your mind, something that
Yeah.
helps you relieve stress, something
Yep.
that makes you feel good. It gets those endorphins going. Whatever it is, it doesn't
Right.
matter what it is. Whatever it is.
Exactly. Even
It
fucking
just
color if you want to color. I was coloring for COVID when we first in quarantine. Coloring was so fun for me. I don't know why.
okay.
I was just like,
Yeah.
let me go buy some fucking coloring books
Okay.
and color pencils and markers. I got a whole arts and crafts section in my house.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
the
a good idea.
quarantine.
I'm mad I didn't even think about that. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
just
Uh,
randomly coloring shit, and then I haven't done it in a little bit, but it was a little
but for
miniature.
that moment though, that was your stress reliever. It doesn't have to be
Right.
something that you do for forever. You can
Nope.
just you can constantly change hobbies. That's why
Hmm.
they're a hobby. Like it's not something that
Right.
you rely on. It's not something that is making you money, or maybe it eventually makes you money, but it doesn't have to. It's just something that you
Nope.
enjoy.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool.
Doing shit for free.
You said what?
I said doing shit for free.
Yeah, why not? In my case, I pay
Hmm.
someone to punch me.
Facts. I pay. I pay to travel and go
Yep.
play, and sometimes
Yep.
lose. So
Yep.
it is what it is.
But you have so much fun though,
Yep.
and you always feel better that you did it, no matter what.
Yes.
You always
Yep.
feel better that you went. Whether it's
Yep.
going to the gym, whatever. No matter, no one's ever went to the gym and then afterwards is like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that.
Right. Right.
Unless you hurt
Exactly.
yourself. But
Yeah. Then you're like,
yeah. But for the most part,
yeah.
but you get those endorphins. Like you don't leave the gym thinking like, damn, like I shouldn't have done that. You
Right.
feel so good. You got energy for the rest of the day. You feel awesome. Uh,
Yes.
if
Accomplished.
if someone wanted to play flag football, where
Yeah.
where would they start? And say they're not in college, for instance.
Yeah, for sure. So I would say follow. Their handle is FFWCT. And that is a great place to start. The full name, like I mentioned earlier, is Flag Football World Championship Tour. And don't be intimidated by the name, because it's not like, oh, championship tournaments. Like, no, there's always a champion, several champions at the tournament. But they've grown, and a guy that I actually got to know, his name is Chuck Davis. He's one of the founders of it. Super cool dude, and him and Travis, I think we're like the two founders of it. They basically like took this flag football love that they saw everyone just doing in their own separate states, and brought it together, and basically was like, hey, let's start having tournaments, big tournaments, where people from all these states can come and play against each other. And so they kind of created the idea, and it has blown up. So their page, you can find a lot of information. They have so many fucking tournaments. I don't know how they do them all, but they have so many tournaments across the nation. And that's one way that you can kind of get involved into it a little bit. And even through there, you'll be able to find like other people, because some teams make pages depending on how serious it is, and some just don't. But you'll be able to find other people that maybe live up north that know what leagues. If you live up north, they can give you information on leagues that are up north. If you're in the Dallas area, we have like Lone Stars, one league that's kind of one of the bigger leagues. But like Plano had a league for a minute. Houston has a whole bunch of leagues. San Antonio has leagues. So that's really just a great starting point to get to know people who can direct you to like your specific area and what you have available in your specific area. But I mean, that's just like the first one that comes to mind. And they also have a Facebook page too that you can join. Trying to think of what else. That's like the main organization that I can think of at the moment. But yeah, like that's a great way to get started. That's a great way to get information, honestly. Because a lot of times too, we, for instance, in Dallas, we have a couple of different organizations that certain people that been playing flag for a while run. One of them, my friend Cassie, she runs Rise Up Flag Football. And she throws local tournaments. They're, of course, not as big and not as competitive as like some of these FFWCT ones, because it's more local, it's smaller. But they're still a lot of fun, and it's a great way to meet people to where you can get to like, the bigger tournaments. But all that to say, they do run tournaments. Like Cassie ran a tournament, I think recently, where the championship won a bid to one of the FFWCT tournaments. So basically that means you don't have to pay the entry fee. So with that being said, that information is on FFWCT's website. So then that's a way for you to figure out, if I'm in this area, what tournaments they have in that area. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
I feel like that was a long-winded answer, but yeah.
No, it was perfect. That was perfect.
FFWCT, that is my recommendation.
Oh yeah, okay. And where's the Texas Outlaws located? Like, where do y'all?
Oh yeah, so we had a little bit of a Mod Podge. We had some people from Atlanta. We had people from Houston, mostly a lot of people from Dallas, some people from San Antonio and Austin. But that one, honestly, like that experience, that was a great experience. That league was the inaugural season of it. And it was run by the Women's Flag Football National League.
Okay.
Yeah, WFFN. And there were 8 teams, I believe, across the nation, in like a lot of big markets, like California, Boston, Florida, Carolina, Texas, SoCal, Southern California. I don't know why I can't remember the other ones. Anyways, but so just from everywhere. DMV was another one. So all of those, and then we just all came to play. But the thing about it is, some teams had people that weren't in that area. So of course, like I said, Texas, we had some people that lived in Atlanta. So the first time we played was that first weekend in Atlanta. That was the first time we played together. And that was the case for a lot of teams. I think the Florida team, not so much, because there were a lot of people on that team that play together in a lot of tournaments or play against each other, and they know each other. But we've never really had like an actual practice. Our
Okay.
practice would be like the day before the tournament once we're all in Atlanta. But everyone that played is seasoned in flag football, so they know like how to play. It's just more so getting that team chemistry.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it was really dope. It was a lot of fun. It was a great league, and honestly, we played like against some of the top talent in the nation, women's wise. So it was just great. It was great competition, and again, got to meet a lot of people that we still keep up in our group me um, to this day, and like now have new friends on social media.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
it's a great experience.
What's the plan going further?
Yeah, so I still play sporadically. I don't play nearly as much. I play like in certain leagues, like on Mondays and Tuesdays of every week. I used to play a lot. I used to play like five days a week.
Okay.
Um, right, but COVID, thank God, because I was tired and I would not be able to do that now. But yeah, so I still play every now and then. I don't play a lot. I think more so because, now that like Jordan, since he's been back from being overseas, him and I have been spending a lot of time together. So that, and also, like I said, I'm a new aunt. So my weekends that used to be filled with football are now starting to become filled with like family and friends.
Okay.
So I still play every now and then whenever I can, as far as like traveling to tournaments. I'm thinking about actually going to Tampa in January for the big national tournament. But like a couple weeks ago, I played in a local tournament, and I only played one format. Granted, me in the gym, football is my active lifestyle. Don't do the gym because I don't have the self discipline anymore. I used to be a fitness instructor and could do it all the time. Now I rather sleep. So me and the gym just have a very toxic relationship. But um, that being said, I've football has been my only like active thing. So
Yeah.
going through and playing it 5 nights a week, then COVID shutting everything down, and then like slowly picking back up. And then, of course, relationship, you get happy weight, all that good stuff. And so more so my body after playing one format, granted I played 5 games in a row, back to back to back. My body was really tired. My back was really like, we're just not going to move
Oh yeah.
at all.
Oh yeah.
So I literally slept the whole day the next day. And typically I play like 2 formats, and people ask me, "Oh, you want to play co-ed?" Nah, I'm gonna go to the house. I'm not really in the shape for that yet, so I gotta gradually get back to that. But yeah, I mean, playing for fun is one thing that I love to do, and then I may still travel. Who knows? But there's, like I said, there's so many opportunities to do so that if I'm like, hey, I want to go play flag football and so, I'll just find a team to just hop on. And that's a good thing too about the social media, Facebook specifically. A lot of people who want to play in a tournament and are like a free agent, you can literally go on there, make a post and say, hey, does anyone need someone for co-ed or whatever the case may be? And people will pick you up like that.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's super cool. Hey, well, shout out whatever you'd like to shout out. Anything you got? If there's somebody running something, or you want to shout out your social media, whatever it is, go ahead, shout out
Oh,
what. Go ahead, shout out yourself, shout out whatever you want. And yeah, we'll wrap this up.
awesome. Well, I mean, for any of our fellow Ruse, 2011 Ruse that are listening or watching, our 10-year reunion is on November 26th. Go check the Facebook page if you haven't, because I know some people haven't and forget that it exists. But all the information is there. It's going to be a great time. You can purchase your ticket. There's an Eventbrite link. I think it's like $30, but includes food, includes alcohol, DJ. Just a good time. You can bring a +1. It's just a good time to catch up with everyone. It was great seeing you, Jordan.
Oh yeah.
I know you may not be able to make it, but like I said, just a great, being able to catch up with people again, see where we are now, because 10 years, Jesus, can't believe it's been that
It's
long.
crazy. It's crazy.
It
10,
is
10 years.
10 years. I can't believe
Mhm.
it. I get like pop-ups on Facebook all the time from like project graduation and all that shit. So,
Dude,
um,
project graduation
yeah,
was so lit.
it was. It
It was
really, really
so
was.
lit. We talked about
I,
that with Elva. It
oh
was
yes,
so
love
much
it.
fun.
I was part of the planning committee too, so we're really just trying to get people out. But yeah, that's like the only plug I have, I think.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
that's fair.
awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you taking out the time in your Friday
Yeah.
evening.
Thank you for
I re
having
Of
me.
course. No, it was a blast. It was good to see you. That was a ton of
Yeah.
fun. I think that your mindset is fantastic. I wish nothing but you and Jordan the best. If y'all ever
Thanks.
in Austin and y'all want to do something, let me know. I'm always here.
Yeah, we'll probably hit
Um,
you up at that soccer game.
hey, let me
We'll
know.
probably do that because I
Let
want
me
to go
know.
with someone who's been, so we can kind of
Okay,
know what we're getting into, you
bet,
know.
bet. Let me know. I'd be more than happy. It's a ton of fun. We can find really cheap tickets. There's always somebody trying to just like resell tickets or
Oh,
whatever. So
awesome. Okay.
yeah, and they're like $30. I think we went last game. It was like 25, $30. It was super
Oh,
cheap.
no.
Super cheap,
Cool.
ton of fun. They got a ton of good food in there too. They got a Pluckers. They got a bunch of different.
What? In
Yeah,
the
they got
stadium?
in the stadium.
What?
Yeah, they got a bunch of
Bullshit.
they got
Okay.
a bunch of cool little spots in there. Uh,
Okay.
Good craft beer. They have like legit like brewery beer. Um,
Wow.
so
Okay,
good.
Austin doing it
Yeah,
big. This
yeah,
is
yeah. So good stuff.
up if we're gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah, ma'am.
That's dope.
Absolutely. So again, thank you so much. It was wonderful to have
Yeah.
you. Another wonderful Colleen High School guest. That's been a lot of the people on here. We've done some great things. Class of 2011 was dope.
Yeah.
We talked about
And
this
a
last
lot of
episode.
people have gotten like we've done great things as individuals, like as a
Absolutely.
class. We have so many like accolades within just everyone in our class.
Ab-
It's really
Absolutely.
good.
You know,
It's really great to see.
we bragged about it last episode how we had I don't know if it still stands, but we had at the time the highest college acceptance graduating class.
Wow. Oh, I think I do
Um,
remember that
I
stat.
think I think we were at 96%.
Damn.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what it was. It was something crazy. It was something absurd. And
Yeah.
I think that's something to be proud of.
Right. Yes,
And
for
we
sure.
crushed it. 2000,
We did.
2011, 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Hey. Yes, it has been. It's been a shit show, but it's been a great shit show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's adulting 101. Great shit show.
Yep. Exactly. Great shit show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Natasha.
Of
I'm gonna
course.
stop
Thank
the
you.
recording. I appreciate you.
Cool. Of
You have
course. Thank you. This is dope.
absolutely.
I'm really proud of you. Keep doing this
Oh,
shit. I'm proud of
thank you.
you for
Thank you.
flipping that house. That's really dope. Jordan wants to get into that. He wants to get into wholesale real estate.
Okay.
So that's really fucking
Hey,
dope
well,
that you're doing it.
hit me up.
That's an accomplishment.
We're about to buy another property. So
Oh, dope. Okay, I will.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like, I mean, that's a huge, huge, huge accomplishment
Thank you.
to do
Thank you.
that. Not even at 30, and you're already flipping shit. That's dope. So
I know. It's crazy.
keep
It's
going.
crazy. It's surreal when I think about where like just some of the things, and I'm just like, this is wild. So hopefully it
Right.
all pays off, and hopefully the 30s are a ton of fun.
Oh, will you'll retire early. You will.
I,
I
oh,
can already tell.
I hope so. We'll see. I don't know. I
Uh,
hope so. I hope so, man. I can't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Natasha.
All
It was
right.
wonderful to see you.
Thanks.
Have a
Good to
good
see you
night.
too. Bye. You too.
Bye, guys.